amazing. Lewis is coming on. Amazing. Lewis is great, man. So great. Oh, he left. He came and left. Oh no, he's back. Yeah, I'm
Somebody
good,
is
bro.
in.
I'm super grateful. Been amazing. Lewis, my brother, welcome. Oh, tuning in. There we go. Yeah, dude, this last day was really special. I spent a lot of time with the youth just to kind of work
Mhm.
on some of their limiting beliefs, which was really nice to kind of spend even more time with them of like what's working, what's not internally, so they can show up with even more confidence for the event and have
Mhm.
more of that certainty of knowing that they can do it all, like they can fucking make it happen. So it was really rewarding.
Pumping, pumping.
Yeah, dude. So that was really, really encouraging, and yeah, just I had a really good meeting with the engineers from the power plant. So that's exciting. A lot of cool stuff.
In Alberta, or
Yeah, in Alberta. So the
amazing.
engineering, procurement, and mining firm here. So I had a really great meeting with them. Um, and yeah, it's been just it's interesting. People are like jumping in and then falling out. It's yeah. So that's been really, really interesting. Whatever you feel, Lewis, if you want to be interactive or not, to whatever, if you want to just listen, that's totally fine too, brother. So enjoy your workout.
For sure, brother. I'm almost done here, but I appreciate you guys. Let's go.
Yeah, it's all good,
Let's
man.
go, pump it.
Yeah. So,
We're
what about
gonna
you,
be your
bro? So,
cheerleader.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Go,
Yeah.
go, Luis, go. um, yeah, that's good to hear that it was amazing day with youth, and the power plants are moving. Very cool.
Yeah, it's moving, and it's like uh because the 30 megawatt is the first project, but what I discovered is that we can do a 1 megawatt project as a little taster, as a little tester.
Right.
And there's a couple of those that we can do. Uh, so it's nice, and they're the exact duplication of the 30 megawatt, 30 times smaller,
Yeah.
right? That gives us a lot of, because as we build the projects, right? Like the 2, 3, 4, 5 projects that are this massive, huge ones, to
Mhm.
have a few of these small ones as we build those projects, it's going to be so good for like investors to see. It's going to be so good
Of course.
for proof of work. It's going to be so good for momentum building and organizational capacity. It's going to be so good for investor relations. Like it just
Yeah.
becomes so much more
Well, it
like when
becomes
you
practical.
chunk,
It
yeah,
becomes
when you
experience.
yeah, yeah, when you chunk it down, right, from like 30 megawatts
Yeah.
to like this 1 megawatt, it's so nice to see
Perfect.
that
Yeah.
that's on the horizon. So that was really exciting to hear. What my hallucination was is that we needed to almost kind of vet what's real and what's not. And it was really nice to have the guys from Africa, Eric, who was on stage at Madeira, Eric Herxman from Gridless.
Yeah. Okay.
So to have him introduce me to Stephen Barber, who is just a real deal miner that takes action, introduce like you know what I mean? No, it's not talking, bro. It's action. You know?
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. So could you unpack a bit more, like what kind of waste energy we gonna be harvesting in this case?
So this one specifically is flare gas to electricity, right? So because there's no pipeline, the flare gas is just being put into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of energy, bro.
Fuck yeah.
That's
Constant.
a
constant constant waste.
Yeah. Constant waste going right into the atmosphere. And because there's no pipeline that's capturing that waste, and in Alberta, by the way, this happens a lot because we don't have any legislation around it. So there's only carbon tax credits that they have to pay to the government. But that's another way of just generating funds for the government. So what's happening is that the obviously the companies are paying it because it's happening, but it's just, this is like easy electricity and energy that can be used as efficiency to power and secure the network, and create really cheap electricity for a lot of people around Alberta.
So how do they convert from gas to electricity?
So it's from turbines. So you capture it through the turbines, and the turbines are like they're natural gas mostly, but sometimes they need to add a little bit of blend of maybe methanol. But because the flare gas is captured through plumbing and then intertwined into the turbines, from the turbines, they then are transferred into electricity, and then electricity, they power up the miners. And the beautiful thing is on the bigger project, not the 1 megawatt, but the 30 megawatts and the other ones after that, is that we get to own the power. So we are actually becoming partners with the plants on the ground, meaning that we get to distribute and use that electricity in whichever form we decide that we want to move it into. So if that electricity, that's true sovereignty because it's behind the meter. So if we are owning the energy from behind the meter and we're able to move that into the grid or into the miners, then we start now navigating what's best for the public, the community. Krishnan, what's up, brother? Welcome, bro.
Hi, Eric.
Hey.
Hey, Krishan.
How are you guys? How are
Amazing,
you guys?
brother.
Good.
Where are you located, bro?
I'm based out of Seattle, but I'm in India right now.
We're in India.
Bangalore.
Ah, amazing. I was in India just during Christmas and New Year's in Chennai. Well, not too far from Chennai, but a great place. I love it there, brother.
Okay, I'm from the state of Tamil Nadu, which is like Chennai. It's like I speak Tamil. Okay.
Nice.
That's good. Cool.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Krishna. It'd be amazing to get to know you a little bit better, bro.
Sure. Where do I start? It's like I'm basically from India. I live in US for the last 8 years. I got into Tony's world from last August, Business Mastery, and I attended UPW Business Mastery Date with Destiny. I'm here. It's like, I don't know. I was curious about what's going on here. I just thought of taking it out. Yeah.
I'm happy that you're here, bro. Tell us though, like, did you do Date with Destiny or just Business Mastery so far?
Date with Destiny. I did Date with Destiny. Yes.
I love it. Yeah. Tell us your mission statement, please.
Okay. The purpose of my life is to be happy, healthy, and enjoy love and connection and dual grow myself and others. That's
I love it, brother. Yeah. I'm so happy to hear. And how is that coming into fruition with your life? How is that integrating?
Definitely, yes. So health is my priority, and I'm trying my best to stay in that beautiful state. Happy.
I can
see. Yeah. And especially I'm trying to build my business or get into life coaching to help people achieve their fulfilled success. That's my vision, and unleash their limitless potential.
Amazing, man.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. How about you guys? How about you, Eric?
Well, we're here to really help integrate this type of passion like that, like you, and help integrate this so that there's way more responsible ways that you can step into that and cultivate that goal. Because what I find is that, you know, when we go to Date with Destiny, it's so nice to be around that environment, and then the world hits us. And so the Lighthouse and these meetings are for all of the different communities from around the world to come and really integrate. And this integration is a responsibility that, you know, we've chosen to step into because it's very, for most people, it's very difficult to keep that high state continuous and keep it going, and that outstanding standard at the highest level of capacity. And so, you know, this is really where we come together, and how can we integrate that into a new infrastructure? Because, you know, this is the thing, is what I've noticed is that by after Date with Destiny is like, yeah, I want to go out and do all of this amazing stuff. The thing is that the old economy, it's not regulated to support you in that development, right? The divine economy, giving more than we ever expect to receive, as Tony calls it, is what can give us that capacity. And so the Lighthouse is really this transition to help us into the Bitcoin network, to really help you educate, understand, become aware, but really also give you the ability to maybe navigate within your infrastructure, how you can translate that. And then more importantly, keep shining, because in this community, in this network, we want everybody to fucking shine. Everybody. Right? So there's no competition here. We're not worried about each other. Everybody fucking deserves to be seen, heard, and understood. And so this is what inspires us to keep moving forward, because everybody in this planet deserves to shine like the fucking sun.
Got it. Thank you so much for putting this together.
I love that you like. Hey, and hey, Krishnan. I'm Sigitas at the moment in Portugal, living in a van, living what the same as you, like enjoying life as much as I can, and doing what I feel is right and what I feel is needed to do. I've been in. I haven't been to Tony Robbins, but I've been to Dr. Joe, and I think that in some way they are on the same mission, and to awaken that power within, and to step into that potential. And as Eric says, like, we are here holding space for people with dreams, with destination that is willing to do something about the world to make it a better place, express themselves, for sure. And we both found, me and Eric, that Bitcoin is a fundamental for that reality to manifest. And Bitcoin is not only as a crypto, but at the same time, it gives as a philosophy a deeper alignment within oneself, recognizing oneself integrity, and balancing it out, and acting literally permissionless, moving as a one, because there is a lot of limitations when it comes to governmental organizations, whatever that means. But also, like what Tony gives, and Dr. Joe Dispenza, it gives us the tools to see beyond the limitation of money, and break through, and actually maybe I'm repeating again, to step in and do something about it, and moving as one, as the whole community, and taking actions that can be very uncomfortable, that it can be, you know, scary. But at the same point, since you've been to Tony's work, you know that is the fear is just an illusion, the same as a fiat system. So therefore, I think we grounding together here. The new reality, which I also noticed, what was Eric talking in after Joe Dispenza retreat, people are hyped, people fall in love, very motivated, and then we go back to marketing, which they just got the whole toolbox of mysticism, of mystery, of true potential, power, and energy, and yeah, the minds are going back to rat race, literally in the first day when they step up, and that was for me very shocking reality to witness in the friends around me. And yeah, like so what I see is that we finally, you know, can actually decode our selfish needs away with the help of Bitcoin. And I'm not saying selfish is wrong or bad. I think it's just unhealthy to be selfish and adult, and see and point fingers to the problems, but not being able to do anything about it. So therefore, it's action time, literally. It's action time, or go fucking home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I see myself as a Bitcoin visionary counselor on top of that, and I see something what even a lot of Bitcoiners still not see. And of course, it's like I need to learn much more, and that Bitcoin has one side of crypto, which is mainly focused and being highlighted in the social medias and stuff. But it has it's really in alignment what Dr. Joe is teaching about the mysticism, because we all meditated for wealth, for abundance, and Bitcoin actually gives all of those what we prayed for. So now it would be kind of dishonoring the reality, not acting, not living, not doing anything about it. So therefore, I'm here, and I'm ready to answer all the questions, share my wisdom, and yeah, support who I feel is in alignment. Yeah.
Good.
Any plans for the upcoming like events? Are you coming back to Seattle? What's happening with you, Krishnan?
I'll be coming back to Seattle next month. I'll be, I might be coming back for business mastery. Maybe I might crew, or I might just attend. I'm still thinking. Let's see how it goes. How about you?
What did you say? You're still thinking?
Either I want to volunteer crew, or else I might attend as a participant. So I'm still debating which one to go based on my situation.
Do you feel which one is a fuck yes and which one is maybe?
Crew, I think fuck yes. It's like if I need to spend another $10,000 for business mastery, I'm still considering. Crew might be the better option. Yeah, volunteer and.
Have you crewed before?
Yes, I did crew for UPW last month. Yeah.
Online.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how was it?
It's awesome. It's a different experience to see the. It's like behind the scenes of the Tony's big film. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Have you crewed in person as well?
Not yet. That's why I'm thinking of business mastery. That's like that's going to be a different experience, a whole new experience.
Yeah, it's an amazing experience also crewing in person. When you crew in person and crewing online, they're both amazing. But like doing it in person is a lot of fun because you really start to see the patterns of what's challenging behind the scenes and how things can be refined or recreated or enhanced or developed, and you get to find new solutions. And I think that that's the great part is when you start seeing those things, you start to be able to say, hey, you know, like, hey, we can take responsibility of this because we're all leaders there, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. So how long have you guys been into Bitcoin, and what do you guys foresee in the near future? Besides.
Do you want to start, Sagitas?
So I discovered Bitcoin maybe 3 years ago, approximately there, and went on full-time studying it and studying community and learning the history, recognizing the patterns. I needed to challenge myself to verify the system that I can talk about it. I needed to check how robust and is it so good as it sounds?
Yeah.
Literally before I was able to talk about it or gave myself permission to talk about it. And so I've been 3 years in Bitcoin as a student, and now I'm putting all my wealth into Bitcoin, and not because to make myself more successful, but just I don't wanna my energy, which is stored so far at the moment in real estate and in some fiat currency, is I don't want to support that system by default. It's just like it's my energy, and I cannot find anything good about the current system, which is it became my mission in life, to lead by example. And I don't want to like sell anything or pitch anything. Because everyone's spiritual journey. Bitcoin is a spiritual journey. And yeah, so I've been that's where I am around that.
Good. So the one thing about Bitcoin is like I haven't invested much. I might have just put $1,000 or something. Like so one thing is like when are we planning to bring Bitcoin into reality? Like we instead of currency, when are we going to use Bitcoin to buy pizza? Like so some guy bought pizza for 10,000 Bitcoins or something like that, right? So the real world application, that's what I'm suspicious about. Like it's so volatile, it's hard for me to predict like is it the right time to put money in Bitcoin or put the energy there to do all this research. You guys can
I can give you a very clear advice if you want.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'll be right back as well. I'm
Sure.
just gonna use the bathroom, guys.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Forget the money part. Forget the blinky shit.
Yeah.
And study. Knowledge is the key. Community is the key.
Okay.
And then it's your responsibility what you're gonna do with that. You know, are you gonna put your wealth in it or not? Or are you gonna implement it or not? But again, like it gives this responsibility that we can act permissionless. And there is nowhere need to rush things unless things wants to be rushed by themselves. So using Bitcoin in my reality is using my energy. It's not using Satoshis, it's not using Bitcoin. So it has two sides. One of it is, yes, it's cryptographic time chain and technology. But that's like I don't even want to talk about it because it's bullshit anyways. Like what it does, it recalibrates potential and breaks out of limitations, and again, like if you wanna get wealthier for whatever reason, yes, you're gonna get wealthier with the time. That's how the pattern will play itself out. But the wealth is within, as you already know from Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're gonna have free satoshis or free bitcoins on your account. Like, what matters is how you carry yourself, literally.
Hmm. Yeah.
This is true sovereignty, right? So if we truly
Yeah.
believe in the essence of our grace and our inherent potential, then we'll start to serve with that level of denomination, meaning that, as Tony says, we want to give more than we ever expect to receive. The reason of living is giving, right?
Yeah.
So if we start focusing our energy into an infrastructure and a standard that is outstanding, because we're not here to play by, just the good, the great, even the excellent. What does Tony say?
Yeah.
We're here to play at the outstanding level of
Outstanding.
standards,
Yeah.
right? So
Yes.
our responsible roles are to adhere and understand that our principles that guide us will be the ones that define us. And when we understand this, as a result, we start to then be able to pay attention to the patterns. And you see, as Tony has said so beautifully, right? There's 3 levels of pattern development.
Yeah.
There is pattern recognition. Do you want to share it?
Yeah, go ahead. Pattern
So
recognition, pattern utilization, pattern creation. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you have
Yeah.
these 3 understandings, these 3 awarenesses, you start to be so clear into what has happened in the monetary systems over the past centuries, right? And you're starting to realize that, hold on, if there is anything that I want to change, I have to really get clear on what has happened in the past. And everything happens in cycles, right? That's the
Yes.
history of the world. Tony talks
One
about
moment.
it,
Sorry, guys, I'm check out for.
That's fine. So he talks about how weak people can create, bad times. Bad times can create strong people. Strong people can create, good times. Things like this, right? Like, this is the history of the world, right? The evolution. But even more importantly, if we start to pay attention to what is money and what the monetary system can really cultivate and how it's been manipulated, then we know that there is a functional reality that has been lying to us for a very long time. And remember what Tony says, it's not what you know, it's bullshit. It's what you do with that knowledge that matters.
Yes. Yeah.
So once you know, you have a responsibility to step the fuck up, to step up as a leader, to create, not destroy.
Yeah.
To defy the odds, to set a new standard, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we're really in that space of true principles, true integrity at the highest fucking level of possibility in our planet, in ourselves, and we discover something that is really upholding those standards, then we have a choice. And it's in those moments of decision that our destiny is determined.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I am a student of life. I'm a very powerful student of Tony, but I'm also a student of life, a student of many other teachers and of many other books. And I've read a lot of the things that Tony has read, and I've followed a lot of the steps and the success leaves clues, Tony says, right? So he's left clues for all of us, and I followed all his clues. And I continue to follow the clues because the clues are what will give us a responsible role to step up, to step the fuck up. And so why am I sharing all of this with you, brother? Because Bitcoin is a vehicle that has been discovered for us to really build an infrastructure for businesses and for people that want to develop their passions now and for our future, so that our future generations can really be encouraged to live a life of true freedom without manipulation or corruption. There is a very serious evil that has been happening for thousands of years that has been manipulating us.
Yeah,
And
totally.
it's something that a lot of people aren't willing to look at. And it's very difficult to, because it challenges an old set of belief systems.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. It's been there for maybe thousands of years. It's hard to get it up in within few years. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I need to jump for the Platinum Mastermind meeting. So I'll see you guys. It was nice catching up with you guys. I will try to join next week. Do you guys meet every week or how does it work?
We meet every day.
Every day. Wow. That's awesome. Okay, I'll try to join you guys as much as possible. Yeah, thanks,
Whenever you feel,
Eric.
brother.
Take it us.
Big
Yeah.
love.
Ciao,
Yes.
Big love.
ciao,
Yeah.
ciao,
Ciao. See you guys. Have a good night.
ciao.
Good day. Good day. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Take care. Okay. Bye.
I'm in a garage. My rocket needs to be fixed, so they wanted me to start it to check the boosters.
So what happened
One
to the
of
car?
the booster went off. The turbine is not working, so no power. So I was driving, it's I was afraid to get stuck into some kind of valley and not being able to come out of that. And I needed to go to Bitcoin halving event, and yeah, it was an adventure. It's some hills I was riding up, maybe 1 kilometer an hour. Like barely moving. The snail could take me over. But it didn't stop. Now we're here in the garage, and we just started looking under the hood. What's going on? So we'll see. I don't know. The whole day I was here, and not sure how long I'm gonna be here either.
The rocket is in the hospital.
Exactly. The rocket needs to be a specialist to check. And what's cool that it's a Bitcoiner. I found a Bitcoiner in the garage. So yeah, we're gonna talk with him some point when he has less missions. But they are super busy here. It's super difficult to find a good mechanic, and that's what he said. Like all the young people want to be online and want to be, yeah, pretty much attention seekers. Um, that's what's going on, and difficult to find the mechanics. Difficult to find people that want to work, and I fully understand that. And he's running the garage that is super big. I don't know, maybe we can fit 10 cars at the same time to fix. But the person I'm contacted with, he works here for 9 hours, and then he goes and works as an Uber driver for another 4 hours to make sure that he is going around. So yeah, the system is pretty fucked.
Yeah.
Very well disorganized and trapped. I need to start the car
Yeah,
again.
go.
I just got.
How's your workout, Lewis?
Yo, what is up? Doing well, man. Doing some push-ups, some fucking, what are these called? The bands. I don't have a pull-up bar yet, so doing these little bands. So yeah, actually, I just signed up with these. I think I told you, no, or probably didn't, but these guys named Superhuman Fathers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a 100-day challenge. So you do workouts, you do spiritual reading every day, you do journaling. So it's a little challenge. We had to. What's good with you, man? You still hitting your daily physical goals, or what are you up to with those?
Oh yeah, I'm training every day. Well, I wouldn't say every day. 4 or 5 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
and definitely getting even more healthier, because before I
Mhm.
was like really big, but I wasn't healthy. Now I'm very fit and healthy. So there's a huge
Got
difference
it.
between
Yeah.
weight, and so my size is becoming just who like it before I was taking steroids and things like this. Now
Yeah.
I'm completely natural,
Eddie.
really fucking strong, like mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, uh I'm
Yeah.
I'm very, very proud because of myself, because there's a time when I was going through my spiritual development and my emotional connections, where I allowed myself and my body to kind of let go, because I was shedding the ego. I was shedding the old Eric,
Yeah.
So my mind at least thought that I needed to let go of. I needed to
Yeah.
be like soft. I needed to like let go of the
Oh,
body.
yeah.
And it's nice because I'm building, or I've been building myself from such a pure place, and that's been really powerful to see the results speak for themselves in my body, in my spirit, in everything that I'm doing. It's like everything is aligning.
Yeah, bro.
Everything.
That's the key word right there, bro. Alignment. Some people, it means something else, but I think you brought it up early. Earlier, it's like whatever, whatever your values are, as long as you're actually aligned to those, and obviously, they're like, if those values are actually yours versus the world's, whew, then that's the big shift.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel it,
Well, bro, I have to say, like, I was looking at kind of my development since I was, in living in Mexico and Brazil and things like this. And I
yeah.
remember how much I was looking, not even not even being conscious of it, because I was completely
Mm,
unconscious of it, but seeking
yeah.
validation from the external world.
That's right, man.
And
That's right. I'm,
bro, it's so fulfilling to just let go of all of that stories, and to not worry if there's a person, two, 10, a
yeah,
million looking or watching, to just know that you're doing it for the right reasons. And
exactly.
whatever anybody is saying, whoever is showing up, it's going to happen in the way that it needs to, because it's not about you anymore. It's not about what you have to prove. It's about the mission that you stand for. And when you stand tall in that space,
Yeah.
in my experience, like you start to bring the people that are aligned. Like, I mean, look how we really reconnected again. It's because of
It's crazy,
alignment.
bro. Yeah. I was gonna ask, like, you got connected to Yaya just like through live events, or how did that work?
No, I was listening. So yeah. I was listening back in the day, like when I was training like a madman, on my podcasts in the morning. I
Oh,
would be listening to Andrew and Andy Frizella.
oh, hell yeah.
So Andy Frizella, and Yaya were guys that I listened to a lot, and then I listened to Yaya on um Vince Del Monte's podcast as well. Um and then I started to like get curious about what's going on,
Mm,
and what
yeah.
is world class leaders, and what does that stand for. And as I kind of got to know them, I started to really understand. But then what I really like, for me, what was really a big development
Mm.
was learning about Tony at a deep level.
Oh. So
Once I
when did
found
Tony
out,
come into the picture? Was it like through the same time?
Well, Tony was always kind of like at a distance in my hind, like in my peripheral.
Yeah,
But I didn't
yeah,
really understand what he was doing. Like, because I just thought, people are telling, oh, motivation,
yeah,
motivation. But I didn't
exactly.
understand the development of what the fuck he stands for. And that to me was like, I needed to get curious about it. So I went to a couple of his smaller events and I felt really
Yeah.
good and I had a lot of energy and, he gave me a big hug and things like this. But what I realized is that um I was feeling good.
Got it.
And it was the feeling that helped me define my responsible role. It was the feeling that helped me define who I want to be and stop thinking, because people kept telling me so often in my time that I was too intense, that I took
Oh,
everything
really?
too seriously, that I had too much of this or too much of that or too much of this. And I really felt like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why is everything being
Oh,
projected on me? And so I
yeah.
I looked for support into another, like, powerful, intense energy,
Right.
because I felt like everyone around me, or most people around me at that time, uh didn't really get me. They just
Mm,
didn't understand me, and they didn't understand
yeah.
where I was coming from. And so I just took to learning. I took to curiosity, because I didn't know where else to go other than inside and getting curious. And this too muchness, right? Too
Hmm.
much.
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
It drove me so much inside of myself, because people are like, "You're too much of this. You're too much of that. You're
Mm,
too." And I was
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, "Fuck. Okay, well, what's wrong with me? I need to figure out myself, I guess."
I hear you.
Yeah,
That's right, dude. And a lot of times, you probably follow or heard of Abraham Hicks, right?
of course.
Esther Hicks, yeah. So they call it, the step one moments where we start to realize, like, man, we know what we don't want, we know what we don't want, we know what we don't want, and then eventually you're like, okay, so now I get a better grasp of what I do want, and then you feel into that, you tap into that. Right? But it's a never ending journey, dude. It's a never ending journey, bro. Like, through the process, growing through it, learning through it, um, you know, creation and destruction, creative, creative. I like to call it creative destruction, because there really is no creation or destruction. It's just a never ending cycle of a new state. Yeah. But yeah, dude. So pumped to be here. I didn't even know. So Tony has an event coming up live. Is it
Well,
crewing?
yeah,
Is it?
yeah. So there's probably gonna be a business. I mean, he's probably. I know he's got a few events happening live, but yeah. So the business mastery will probably be soon, and then there's one, I think, also a UPW
Oh
happening
yeah.
in Germany soon. So there's a lot of different events, but yeah, he's. I mean, his calendar is pretty pretty stable now, and
Uh,
very structured.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because in the past he was just like from end to end, right? Just traveling for years, and well, probably decades, right?
Yeah, he's been doing it for 38 years now, man.
Yeah, just fucking traveling and traveling. Yeah, because I mean, he even had his baby girl, right? Because now he has a lot more time with the virtual events.
Well, I think that that's his kind of, it's his point now, right? Like, it's his responsibility to kind of sit and be in a space and be able to do, because he's put in the work, from
Mm-hmm.
my perspective, uh he deserves to now be with his family, stay at home,
Yeah, dude.
focus on that, And then it's guys like us that then get to go out and continue to go around the world and have these in-person live events, and continue the message, because we get to stand on his shoulders, you know, like
Yeah.
we get to stand on his shoulders and a lot of other shoulders, right? But like, you know, he's standing on Jim Rohn's shoulders or many other shoulders, you know.
Yeah.
We get to then stand on his, and that's the responsibility of serving the next generation. And that's what he's done for so many people, and he will continue to. And you know, people, you know, I know for myself, that was the opening for me. That was the opening that I needed to really step up, because
Oh.
without that big, I don't care what anybody says about Tony Robbins. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. I know Tony. I've
Yeah.
looked into his eyes. I've connected with him, and I know his heart. And this
Yeah.
man is as pure as it gets. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I know this man is just the real deal. And the thing is that I believe, you know, that it's like, I remember going to business mastery, and I was like, Tony, I love you so much, and just so you know, I'm gonna continue this legacy.
Yeah.
And he looks to me, and he smiles with this like peacefulness, this grace, this kindness, and he says, "No, Eric, you have no clue, but you're gonna create your own." And
Mhm.
I didn't understand what that meant at that time, brother, but for me, it was very meaningful, because today I look at it and I realized that the man was seeing something in me that I never saw in myself.
Mm. What do you think that was?
Well, he saw himself, a younger version of himself, with this like desire, this tenacity, this hunger. And because it's a mirror. And the thing is that he knew that it was a mirror. I didn't know that it's a mirror, right? At that time, I didn't know, because the truth is that we're all mirrors. If we really believe in the divine intelligence, we
Mm.
know that we're mirrors of each other's selves. Just like Sage had
Yeah.
said to me, Eric, what you see in Tony is already inside of you. And again, I
Mm.
didn't understand what that meant. And the reason I didn't understand what that meant is because I didn't know myself. Ralph Waldo Emerson talks about knowing thyself. If you know
Yeah.
yourself, then you will start to recognize a deeper potential within you that connects you to some divine intelligence. And as a result, see that in each person. And that space of reverence that was connected between myself and Tony, or myself and Sage, or myself and any other person now, because all of that space is a space of integrity and alignment and reverence.
Mm.
Now it's actually less about speaking and more about listening.
That's a yeah. Yeah, because for you, when you say you didn't really know yourself, what did you find out about yourself?
Well, all my life, since I was a little boy, bro, I was asking myself a question: why do I exist? Like, my primary question is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
why do I exist?
Oh shit!
Why
Since you were young?
am I here? Since I was a little boy, why am I here? What's my
Oh,
purpose? Like, what's my purpose? And I
oh,
remember like seeking this purpose was so profound for me. And I would go to the end of the world to find my purpose. In fact, I did. I traveled the
oh
planet three
sure.
times to find it.
Oh wait, dude. That's good. That's dope. Damn. I got chills. I got chills. God damn, you were seeking externally what always existed internally.
Right. And it took me around the world three separate
Holy
times.
shit. That's fucking powerful, dude. So okay, so three separate times, like what that's what I'm trying to get to. Like what hit? Like what was that like insight to say like, oh, I get it now, or oh, I know myself now.
It was healing the part of me that felt like I needed to prove it, first of all, because in a space of needing to prove yourself, you're actually not recognizing the value that you hold inherently. And so the more I went inside and the more that I healed the disconnect of my feminine nature, of my softness, of my sensitivity, of
Mm,
my desire to be creative and use my sexual energy for creativity and beauty and artistic expression, the more I finessed my own energy within knowing that, hold on, like if I'm an extension of our creator in human form, then I'm an extension of its art. I'm both the art and the artist. And if
okay,
I'm both
shit.
the
Yeah.
art and the artist, then I become now the manifestation of pure source consciousness in human form. And the more I tapped into the level of heart's intelligence and the wisdom within my heart, the more I started to recognize, wow, I get to show up if I choose to. If I choose to step into an identity that is so much more profound and greater than myself, then as a result, what I've been seeking is been constantly seeking me. And now it's a decision. Do I choose to really own that space of sovereignty, or I keep passing my power away to everybody else? And if I decide to own it, if I decide to really own my intelligence, my grace, my power, my inherent divine intelligence, then now I get to choose to step up. I get to choose to lead from a place of leading myself, not because I'm trying to push anybody or
Got
please
it.
anybody. Leading myself by doing what's
Yeah.
fucking hard, by stepping into circumstances and situation and
Yeah.
environments that are uncomfortable, and being willing to create certainty in those environments because it comes from inside, because it comes from getting curious, because it comes from asking questions, not because I know, but because I know that I don't know, is in fact the curiosity that gives me the drive to say, hey, can you tell me more? I'm curious to understand,
Yeah.
because I'm constantly and never ending improving
Yeah.
and focused on bringing that level of nature and nurture to the world in a way that just is genuinely innocent, playful, and in integrity, so that it's also in a space of strength and certainty and in knowing, right?
That's massive, brother, because I don't know if you said this word, but the word that's coming to me is like this awareness.
Mm.
And really beyond that, it's not only because look, and I think you guys talked about this in terms of patterns. There's a difference between awareness and then acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
right? You were aware, like, okay, I am, right? I am an extension of God or of source energy. But it seems like there was this, and I think we all go through it, this gradual process of accepting, like, okay, I'm not too much. I am enough, right? And the interesting thing about me and a lot of people I speak with, it's the opposite. We used to think I'm not enough, right? So for you, it was interesting because it's like you thought you were too much of something, like it was too much of whatever it was. For me, I felt like I wasn't enough of whatever it was, right? And it's almost like an imbalance. It's an imbalance. It's not yeah, it's not aligned. It's honestly, you know what? Look, it's not the truth.
Mm.
It's not the truth. Like, no, you weren't. Luis, no, you weren't not enough. No, Eric, you weren't too much. We just thought it. We just felt it. We just lived it. We lived
We
as
were
if we were fucking too much.
we were projected onto it because of the limitations and the societal constructs that have been created by trauma and disparity and
Mm,
a lack thereof. And so this is where that imbalance came in, is not identifying into our feminine nature of who we are, or our masculine natures, depending on where we're at our core. The
yeah,
more that
yeah.
we're capable of balancing those two energies in our internal source, because we are an extension of
That's
divine
it.
masculine and feminine
That's
presence.
it. That's it
And
right there,
so
dude.
when we talk about source, God, intelligence, it's not a man or a woman. It's the energy of feminine
Yeah.
and masculine energy. And when we intertwine that, it doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. Within us, we
Yeah.
all have the energy of both. And if we cultivate those energies within both of us, and we stop demeaning what it means to be feminine, and we stop demeaning what it means to be masculine, we just accept
Yeah.
what
There you go.
that truth is, that nature is, that cultivation, then we'll start to
Holy shit.
accept it for what it is.
God damn, that's right, man. That's right. Because for me, what was interesting is even though I was raised with both parents, I was, long story short, I was a mama's boy, because my dad, he was an alcoholic and there was a lot of stuff there. So for me, it was more like I felt I wasn't masculine enough or like hard enough or like, you know, I don't even know. Like, yeah, just tough. I felt like I wasn't tough, So it's interesting to hear like that perspective because for you, it was the opposite. You felt like you were too much, maybe of that too. What would you call it? You were like,
Well, one thing I want to share with you, bro, is that this fucked up expression of what society tries to dictate to us of what's tough
yeah,
and what's not is really
yeah,
just it's a total fucking illusion, and it's so
yeah,
fucking misinterpreted because what's tough is actually what's in our heart and how we show up and how we
mm,
face difficult environments and how we treat people and how we
that's true.
behave. Toughness, from my
That's true.
perspective as a child, and what my parents had shown me what real toughness was as in the environment of my of how they raised us, and the world tried to project and did and successfully projected what tough meant. And toughness meant to me is like, I need to fuck up people, I need to be a black-hearted son of a bitch, I need to step up to the plate and tell people how the fuck it is, and if they can't deal with it,
Mhm.
it didn't teach the compassion, it didn't teach
Got
the
it, got
kindness,
it, got it.
it didn't teach the softness, the sensitivity, because that's weak in a man's eyes. And so
Yeah,
instead of nurturing the nature of what's true, we nurtured the nature of what's egoic. And this
yeah,
has been
yeah.
happening since the
That's
death of
right.
our brother and our great teacher,
Yes,
Jesus, because
yes,
that's what he embodied. He embodied that level of grace, of kindness, of genuine connection. And
yeah.
by the stories of what has been populated, has been created of saying, fear God and do all these fear things and creating fear and,
Mm,
and destroying the essence of what true grace is and destroying
yeah,
the essence of what true connection feels like to our divine teacher. And instead
yeah.
of us recognizing the beauty of Mary Magdalene and how beautiful of a disciple she was and the importance of what she brought to the table, there was a story that was created that she was a prostitute, and that that nullified anything that she existed, because the egoic perspective of needing to show the value of only a man's perspective. And so the feminine nature, not just within man or woman, the feminine nature
That's
of
that's
women
yeah.
has been suppressed for
Mm,
thousands of years. And so as a result, bro,
that's it right there. That's it right
that
there.
bullshit has compressed into thousands of generations and has affected us now. And so
Mm,
we needed to pretend and project this toughness. And so that
mm-hmm.
happened in the economic frameworks, that happened in societal constructs, that continued to happen in religious and doctrines, and amongst different fallacies. And it created this separation amongst so many different silos.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
right.
now that the nature of our heart and our generation is seeing, hold on a second, like, we actually want to live in peace, we want to live in harmony, we want to live in happiness, we are not interested in fucking war because we don't want to profit from it. The people that are not interested in peace are the ones that profit by war.
Say that again.
The people that are not interested in peace are those that profit by
Oh,
war.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn. That's fucking crazy, man. And even beyond that, wow, that's wow. Because yeah, man, that's interesting. Because almost like it's also even a false, what's the word I'm looking for here? Narrative in those people's minds because their ego is blinding them because they think that more money equals maybe not more peace. Like, I guess no, I mean it really just this ego then, right? It just they don't care about everybody else. They care about, filling their pockets.
Well, this is the nature, this is the nature of the fiat system, is like, I win, you lose.
Mm. Yeah,
What
like
what
someone has to pay for it, right? Someone has to pay for
Well, if a
it.
group of individuals owns an economy, or a group of individuals owns a central bank, or a group of individuals owns something, how can it be for the people?
Yeah,
If if it's decentralized, and if it's focused on, everybody benefiting based off of their essence, their energy, their true nature. You see, when labor and capital can really balance themselves
yeah,
within each other and they come together, that is what true harmony looks like. But when there's an exchange in a marketplace or free trade, and one person is losing, that's not free trade. Free
yeah.
trade is when people are both are benefiting.
Right, right. Yeah, mutual transaction.
And it is mutual connection. Like, if it
Yeah,
doesn't become a transaction, if it start
yeah,
like if we stop thinking so much about transaction
yeah,
in those relationships, and we
yeah,
start focusing on inherently offering our value and
yeah.
providing genuine care for the people instead of the money, then we will have an economic prosperity that is way beyond our even imagination. Because it is if
Yeah.
we start valuing the reverence of the person sitting in front of us, then we will start
Mm,
to value the essence of what our creator is offering through that person. Because if we're listening, we're hearing our divine intelligence speak through that individual.
say that one more time. If we're
if we're
hearing, we can, or if we're listening.
if we're truly listening to the people that are sitting in front of us,
Yeah.
then we're listening to our divine
Holy shit.
creator, our teacher.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's it, man. Golly. Well, so yeah, yeah. So because I'm always looking for ways to fully understand something from the perspective of what would you call it? The contrarian's perspective, right? Because somebody could say, Luis and Eric, like everything you guys are saying is beautiful, it's magical, but also from some of these people's perspectives, what if they say, like, when you talk about transactions, when you talk about like relationships, when you talk about connections, I guess the missing link is that higher level consciousness, right? Because from some let's call it like from some random guy's perspective who isn't very conscious, he's looking at us like, what are you guys freaking talking about? Like, dude, I've got fucking bills to pay. I've got like, my sister, my mother, my brother, my father is dealing with this health issue, that health issue. Like, I guess is that is that the challenge we have to live into is being spiritual in a material physical world? Is that kind of the balance then?
Well, is spirituality and materialism the same thing? Can it be? Like, if
It's the same.
everything if everything
Uh-huh.
is pure source consciousness, if everything that's come from an idea, if everything around us that surrounds us is actually pure source consciousness because it's come from our collective awareness,
Yeah.
then is it possible for us to change the nature of the way that we think in terms of, okay, so yeah, we have a lot of things happening in the world existing that are, people can't pay their bills, people are struggling with debt, people are but where did that come from? That came from thousands of years of manipulating a marketplace and manipulating a people to become slaves in a world that they don't even know that they're slaves about.
Gotcha.
The greatest slave is one that doesn't even know he is
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. That's a big saying right there.
So if a slave doesn't even know that he is a slave to a system that has been created to enslave him because he's been born into slavery,
Holy fuck, dude.
then how are we stepping up if we know that system to be true?
Got it.
And what do we that are willing to step up to that capacity, how are we truly going to come together? And if we aren't, then are we also, if we're not stepping, if we know but we are not doing, then we're not actually knowing, and we're not in the highest level of integrity.
Yeah.
Love is action.
Yeah.
It's not just talking about it. It's being about it. It's taking the necessary steps. It's having no fear. It's having, conscious conversations, thoughtful disagreements, but also inspired and implemented action. Because the thing is that if I know that I'm in debt, and I'm gonna then work towards paying off a debt with a job that actually pays me in an inflationary monetary value that has been lied for thousands of years, and am I contributing to that system? Because where focus goes, energy flows.
Yeah.
So then if I'm contributing my energy to, then I am out of alignment to my true nature. I am not being the sovereign individual that I know to be true. I am still in fear. If I know that I'm in debt because of the bullshit story that I didn't know that I didn't know and I lived up to, I need to take responsibility, but it doesn't mean that I want to choose to play in that system anymore. That means that I need to step into a new system and learn how to figure out that new system so that I can uphold my sovereign level of connection.
Yeah.
And as a result, find the solutions and build them.
Yeah. Coming from that's coming back to that theme of creative destruction, right? It's like to create something new that's beyond what's normal, you have to be willing to let go of obviously let go of the old and create something beyond that. But that's what I'm saying, right? This is the big question is, to your point, how to make it real, how to make these concepts understandable to the common person. Or maybe that's not the target audience, maybe it's not the common person, it's someone who's elevated and who has this desire for difference.
Well,
right, like how do you expand this?
I disagree. I think that if we're listening to the economic uncertainty and what's happening within inflation, we just have to say, are you okay with being part of an inflationary monetary system?
Right, but if the answer is no, the question then becomes okay, and then what?
Right. So, and then what? So how can we now help and integrate business owners? Because it needs to start with business owners.
Okay.
And entrepreneurs to really cultivate how to develop or get a new monetary system and a new store of value onto their balance sheets. And if they want to build a new infrastructure, or if they want to be part of building the new infrastructure, then they need to learn to get curious about it. So that means bringing on leaders, strategists, supporters, advisors
Mm.
to get them to support them in building their new infrastructure and being part of the new infrastructure.
That's it right there. That's it. Beautiful, brother. Well,
And
fucking
so we have a
love it.
responsibility to deliver that to them.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's well, look, you know, at the end of the day, too, to the point of patterns, that's the same exact formula for any sort of conversion in terms of, let's say, religious like converting from, you know, Islam to Christianity, Christianity to Islam, or this to that, right? Or you know, like for instance, right, when Jesus came, there was the established protocol, and he came to establish a new protocol.
Mm.
And but where did he start? And how, you know, how did he go about it? And the way he spoke in ways that, you know, in parables, because you can't just straight up tell someone do like, I mean, you can, but obviously, as we saw through the stories and at least what we see and read, you know, it has to be in a way where it's consumable and integratable to the existing protocol, because otherwise it's just like, "Ah, this guy's crazy," like they said.
And in fact, like there's a story where, you know, he went and, you know, he flipped over tables in the
Oh
temple,
yeah,
and he said he will not have his father's home be a den of thieves.
yes,
And our planet has become a den of thieves.
yes,
So I think it's enough. I think we can do more.
yeah,
I think more of us want to do more. And it's just a matter of, are we willing to come together, or are we going to continuously, you know, work in these silos of competition and this narrative of bullshit that really separates us? Or are we going to actually step up and say, hey, you know, it's time to come together, because if we don't do it, who's going to do it for us?
that's right, man. Wonderful. Well, let's keep jamming out. I'm over here on time. Gotta keep
I love
rocking,
you.
but appreciate you guys so much. Love you guys. Let's do this next week. I'll most likely be able to tune in on Tuesdays. I know you guys meet every
Sweet.
day, but let's
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah, bro. It's good to see you. Thanks for being
That's
here,
right,
bro. We
Bruno.
appreciate you.
Let's go, guys. Cheers. Bye.
Ciao, Luis.
Cheers, brother.
My brother.
Yeah, they still touching the rocket here, so I might gonna need to jump off again.
No worries, bro. I love you. I appreciate you. And it was a great conversation. I'm grateful.
Amazing.
Let me know
Amazing.
if you need anything.
I will. Much love. Take care of yourself.
Talk soon.
Talk to you tomorrow.